Tonight, we look at the story that has been told about the murder of JonBenet Ramsey and why so many think her parents guilty.
On December 26, 1996, JonBenet Patricia Ramsey, a 6-year-old pageant girl, was killed in the basement of her own home in Boulder, Colorado.
God bless America.
The tragic murder of 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey has become one of the great crime stories of the 20th century.
JonBenet's father found her body in her house about 8 hours once she was reported missing. Her injuries consisted of a broken skull from a blow to the head, and she had been strangled. Her death was ruled as a homicide. Both of JonBenet's parents were first considered as the murderers. They wouldn't answer the police questions, but would speak on TV, leading it to be very suspicious. This case generated nationwide public interest because her mother, Patsy Ramsey, was a former beauty queen and had entered her daughter into the pageants. No DNA of the parents were found on JonBenet's body. In 2002, DA's successor took over the investigation and proposed an alternative theory. They proposed that an intruder had committed the killing.
After the findings, the DA declared the family completely cleared from the investigation. They were no longer considered suspects.
In 2003, trace DNA was found in JonBenet's clothing of an unknown male.
August 15, 2006. John Mark Carr, a 41-year-old elementary school teacher, was arrested in Bangkok, Thailand. John claimed that he had drugged, sexually assaulted, and accidentally killed JonBenet. In 2009, the police took the case back from the DA and reopened the investigation. Police got an anonymous tip that John Carr had been writing to the family. Carr had been arrested in 2001 for child pornography, so police decided this was a credible source and looked into Carr. He falsely confessed. DNA evidence taken from JonBenet's clothes did not match the DNA of Carr. So why in the world would anyone confess to a crime like this? Experts say there are a few reasonings for Carr's false confession. 10 years before his confession, Carr was obsessed with the case himself. He wrote long letters to the Ramsey family and corresponded with a professor who made documentaries based on the murder. Another possibility would be that Carr was suffering from a manner of delusion. The line between reality and fantasy may have become blurred.
DNA did not match that of some DNA on the murder scene, so Carr was released with no charges. What is Carr now saying about the case? John Mark Carr went on the record. How you doing?
Well, a lot has changed.
You know, the whole sort of mystique around you or discussion around you is whether you've got some sort of unnatural attraction to children, or I don't know how to politely put it. Why do you think people said that about you?
Well, in light of my arrest, that would be a reaction that some people might have, but they need to look deeper into those things.
So it's flat out not true.
It's not true.
How do you find him, or how did he find you? Because you're in Thailand, he's in Colorado.
Yeah, I was in Paris in 2002, and I ran into a man who worked for the Daily Camera, Michael Sanrod, and he mentioned a man that he'd met, and Michael Tracy, who had expressed his feelings that he thought that her parents were innocent and they were being mistreated. And I said, I'd like to talk to that man. You know, I'd like to meet this person who's saying those things.
Just curious, or because you knew something?
I guess a combination of the two.
What do you think about Boulder?
I think Boulder is a beautiful little city, and the people are very friendly. They remind me much of people in the Southeast. They're very hospitable, and it's just a friendly little place. It seems to be a peaceful place and wholesome, and just it's a nice city. I've always said wonderful things about it, even when I was living abroad. If I met someone from Boulder, I'd always say, oh, what a beautiful city. And it is. It's a beautiful city. I don't have any hard feelings. I still love Boulder. I think it's a wonderful city.
Ever see the Ramsey home?
In Boulder, of course.
How do you happen to see it?
I've just seen it on several occasions.
Physically, not just on TV or in picture?
Yes.
You've been
physically,
to the home?
Of course, yes.
Have you ever been in the home? No answer?
I don't think that I can answer that, no.
Whether you've been in the home?
Yes.
Why can't you answer whether you've been in the home? Just no answer.
Right.
How about, were you in Boulder before John Benet was found dead, in the weeks, months before that? How about the time that she died?
Well, I think I've responded to that in the past on the record, so I don't think I really feel like responding to it again.
It's sort of curious on the record's name of the show, so it's tell us whether you're in Boulder at the time she died.
I did respond to that. It was something I responded to on camera in Bangkok.
Oh, what did you tell them?
Something that I can't repeat anymore.
Was that correct, what you said in Bangkok about whether you were in Boulder at the time Jean Benet died?
It was correct.
Okay, so you had this communication with this professor. Did you like him?
I did. He was a person who held some views about the Ramsey family that I definitely held. There's no doubt about that.
Like what?
Fine people, good people, who didn't need to suffer any more than they did.
So you don't think that either John or Patsy had anything to do with the death of John Benet?
Absolutely not.
And of course, Patsy's died.
Yes, this month, last year, June 24th.
Did you ever meet Patsy?
I can't respond to that.
Whether you've met her?
Yes.
How about John? Have you ever met John Ramsey?
I believe he was asked that question. He says he doesn't recall ever seeing me, so I think that suffices as my response as well.